All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I'm joined once again with 𝗀𝗏. Folks, a lot of unusual activity happening at the White House and the Capitol last night. So much so they're even building structures around the White House. Once again, the last time they did that was in 2020. Ron, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thank you, man. It's good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I called you really early this morning
Yep.
and I
I'm
said,
an early
man,
bird,
I
so
was just watching video after video after video of this activity happening on the White House. I mean, Black Hawk helicopters landing on the lawn, on the Capitol, also at the White House. They're building something. So this takes me back to 2020. It looks like that's exactly what they did in 2020. I mean, they had something. They built some massive structure in front of the White House. Do you remember that?
I don't remember them building something in front of the White House on 2020 because I went but I didn't actually get to see Trump. I was just standing way far back. But I didn't see anything abnormal other than the fact that the city was dead.
This
So
right here, I remember they did this in 2020, and I guess I'll pull it up for people to look at here. But there it is, this big like stage type situation happening.
that was
And
like probably for a rally or something. I don't know,
I don't
but
know,
could be.
I don't
Who
know,
knows?
but it seems out of ordinary to me. And this is from Santa Surfing. I know you said that there's so many people in the Patriot community turning against so many other people. It's just like there's always infighting. But I think you
I
were
don't have
telling me
anything.
about.
I don't have anything against Santa surfing. My thing is, I just was saying, a lot of people don't like her. They say, "Oh, she's a shill." Well, whatever, dude.
It's
If people
everybody.
out there, it's everybody,
It's
dude. I mean,
everybody.
I get called a CIA shill, so it's like
Yeah,
whatever, dude.
yeah. Folks, let me knock this out real quick before we get into this. I'm going to be showing you videos of Blackhawks landing and we'll be commentating on this and give you our interpretation of what's happening. New reports reveal that the average person has 8,674 in credit card debt, plus the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, with outside assistance, many of us will continue digging ourselves deeper into a hole of debt. Damn. This is why I took back control of my debt with a secret weapon that helped me consolidate everything I owe into one affordable monthly payment. They even helped negotiate a settlement agreement that allowed me to pay less than my total balance. They settled over 275 million in debt and held people debt free in an average of 28 months. So you can be debt free in 28 months, folks. I've had such a wonderful experience using them myself, which I have, that I wanted to partner with them and introduce their services to my loyal viewers. That's you. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I highly recommend booking a free consultation with them now by going to www.nodebtwithnino.com. Once again, that's www.nodebtwithnino.com. Good luck, folks. Get started on it. I'm going to set my ghetto timer.
Hmm.
Get started on this. Uh, all right, folks. I'll be doing a lot more on Nino's Corner.tv. I'm going to be having Juan on, the Ghost, Ron, everybody, a lot of people on board. I'm going to be hunkering down the next 10 days, which I'm sure, Ron, you will too, right? This is
Yeah,
going to get.
I won't. I traveled to Atlanta in like September, and I was nervous about that trip, but I won't go anywhere further than about a 3 to 4 hour drive from my location now. I want to be semi close, and actually that would be the outermost limit. I really don't want to go further than about an hour away from home.
That's how I feel right now. I'm just not willing to. I used to take a hop and a skip. I'll fly to Phoenix or I'll fly to Austin or whatever. Now, if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to drive and it's going to be a 4 hour drive. I'm going to stay
Maximum.
right around here just because, from what I've been hearing, things are going to get pretty crazy. Even Juanito's, you know, uh, what he's hunkering down now, he's not even traveling. So that tells me a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah. I guess he's going to stay in Hawaii. He doesn't want to be in the mainland.
I think Hawaii would be a great place. I have a friend of mine who is a pilot, a guy that is a follower of my channel, and didn't really know him for a while, but we connected recently and become kind of fast friends. And he's like, dude, I'll come get you. And he's like, we can go land at one of these islands off the coast of California, and we can just wait it out there if we have to for a week to a month. So that would be any time that you're on a small place where there's where the concentration of people isn't that much, it's a lot harder to bring people of the I don't know what the proper word to say it, that aren't supposed to be here. It's a lot easier to bring them to the mainland than it is to Hawaii.
Oh yeah, of course.
Not that they can't arrive by flight, but you're going to have a far less concentration there.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with you on that. Look at this structure right here. That I guess this is October 29th, 2024, 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this could be. I mean, people can chime in on the comments and let me know what they think it is. I know that they built this in 2020. Are they? Is it for the inauguration? Is it? I mean, I don't know what. I don't know. I'm lost on this.
I'm looking it up right now just to see if there's anything. Let's see here. Structure. What?
I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, but what's even more interesting to me is this is the stuff they're doing at night. These practice drills they're running at night with play video right here for this. Or actually, I'm going to show first this X post because there's a lot of videos on this one. 8 military helicopters and 4 metropolitan helicopters landed on the Capitol grounds. That would be last night.
Yeah, and those are definitely Blackhawks, not Marine One.
So those are Blackhawks.
1,000%. Yeah, UH-60s.
This is unusual, correct? I mean,
yeah. So I saw there was something where they were practicing for drills going on around another a futuristic. So I don't know. Is that what they're doing? Are they preparing for some sort of a horrific event that happened before? Are they trying to? Is this because they're trying to evacuate members of Congress? I don't know.
You heard Mr. T say or Trump say, we have a secret. Remember he said that at the rally. This last rally. He said something.
Which one? At MSG?
I did in Michigan.
I don't remember him saying that.
He says we have a secret weapon for the House or something like that. And I thought, what could he be talking about? I just think that there's so much going on right now. I had to show these videos. There's actually a really good video that we can commentate on right now with the what channel is this? This is this channel, military Penguin 6 is just blowing up right now, but he's been covering what's going on at the Capitol. So
Hey guys, I am back in Washington after Parents Weekend, and guess what? We have got helicopters coming to the U.S. Capitol. Probably Blackhawks, probably in the next 20 minutes or so, and I think they're going to land. Let's go check this out. It should be kind of cool. So over there you see all the fire trucks from the DC Foam Task Force. They're set up to cover any arrival.
This could be protocol, right? This happens every 4 years.
Well, no. Okay, so what he's talking about here is the reason that they have the fire trucks there is if they know they're going to have massive or a multitude of aircraft landing at a particular location, they have to be prepared in the event that there's a crash landing, and they have to have first responders right there to go do it, kind of like they would at an airport. Anything more than like a single. So,
what would be the purpose of multiple aircraft landing at night at the White House?
Again, this isn't at the White House. This is
at the Capitol. So
my feeling is that it could be getting members of the gang of 8 out. Maybe could be high profile senators, high profile congressmen. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Move the ambulances over here too. I guess that's a sign we're going to have aircraft actually landing. I don't know if I can go over there. Okay, guys, we're at the Library of Congress. We're expecting 12 helicopters to come in flights of 4.
12 helicopters at the Library of Congress.
Well, I think that's where he's standing at the Library of Congress, but the helicopters landed at the Capitol.
Should be pretty cool. They're going to land right over there. 2 on the House side, 2 on the Senate. And then they're going to evac some people, and then another set of 4 will come in. Should be pretty neat.
Miles to the northeast of you at 1,300. They're in zone 7 and zone 2.
Gee, what are they anticipating, man? This is to me this is completely abnormal behavior.
It is. I agree.
Especially coming into this November, and we know just how critical this election is. I mean, this is not adding up to me.
It's definitely different. I remember.
Go ahead.
I remember, before the inauguration last time, when they had all the military and they were building like walls around the White House and around the Capitol, but I mean that was all hoax. So it's like, what were they preparing for? And then there's so many people is like, oh well, the inauguration was staged is fake. What I don't care about all that, but what I'm just thinking they are preparing. And is this the good guys or is this the bad guys?
That's the question.
I don't know. My feeling is that this is probably the bad guys scared that if something happens and they got to get the heck out.
That's how I see it.
That's a UH-1. That's not BlackRock.
Something's going down. I just can't. This is eerie to me.
The thing that puzzles me is why. Okay, so first of all, if they're going to evacuate senators or somebody, they're sure shit not going to evacuate them on a UH-1. They're going to evacuate on a Blackhawk. UH-1s are those are. I'm not that they're bad helicopters, but those are Vietnam era helicopters. The 𝗬𝗓-60, which is the Black Hawk, those are the newer ones that really are kind of on the verge of being replaced again. So I don't know but the fact that there was like 4 of the Metro landing, I don't know why that they would involve DC Metro in on that.
Man, this is like we're getting ready for the shootout at high noon, man. This is crazy, This is like
maybe or these could be drills. But why are they drilling? And typically, what I've discovered, or typically what I feel is that anytime that they say it's a drill, it's not a drill. That's just they're doing something under the cover of a drill.
Right. I don't know. That's a lot of activity, Ron.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know if they're landing on the front of the back of the Capitol. But if they were landing at the back of the Capitol, right across the street is the Supreme Court. So, I don't know if they're.
But are they? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to be running these drills, yeah. I mean, they've got to be ready. They're going to be ready for something, folks.
Well, here's, do you remember when the military did the quote unquote drill in Los Angeles where they landed those 2 helicopters on Wilshire Boulevard?
Right. And there was actually a terrorist threat there, correct?
Right. Okay. So when you're landing into an area where there are structures around you that are taller, That's generally not something that they do in a drill format. Now, this is DC, so it probably has there's a little bit of a different rules, involved there. So they probably could land on the Capitol grounds on the grass. But why 12? Why 12 helicopters?
Oh man, that's a lot.
That's a lot of helicopters. That's a lot.
Part of the exercise. Gotta go this way.
I don't know. This is giving me chills, dude.
And that's not that's a I think that's a Bell helicopter, but that's not a UH. I don't remember what number that is, but that's there's 3 different types of helicopters now that I'm hearing. You can hear the difference. Do you hear the
Yeah,
ones that
I do.
like
I do hear the
speed
difference. You're right.
fast, and then there's one of them where it's like kind of choppy. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the choppy one is the old helicopter because basically it's a twin blade, and then that one right there is what most law enforcement agencies use now, and then the Blackhawk is more of a personnel carrier. You're going to be able to carry people. So I think a Blackhawk can fit like eight to 10, maybe 12 people. I don't know. It depends on the configuration, but you can carry a lot more people in a Blackhawk than you can in some of these others. So Blackhawk can even be there to evacuate people.
Here comes the next batch.
It's almost time for the main event, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. This is crazy to me.
That's interesting.
What?
I can't see if it sounds like a Blackhawk. That's a Blackhawk.
That one. This one here is?
Yeah, that's Blackhawk. Okay, pause it for a second. Pause it there. Okay, I look in the look to the right of the cupola. Is that the Washington Monument in the background, in the distance?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, right here, right
so,
here.
So that what that tells me then is they're landing on it'd be the southeast. It's the southeast corner of the Capitol, and right in front of the Library of Congress, and next to that is the Supreme Court. So they're landing basically in a between the Capitol, the Supreme Court, and the Library of Congress. That's where they're landing. So they're on the
they're going to be getting people the hell out of there. That's what we're going to be. That's what's coming.
Right. So I mean, and the fact that they're landing close to the library to the Supreme Court could mean that they're practicing to, it's not just Congress people. It could be Supreme Court too. I don't know.
Add all this with them receiving satellite phones, the whole thing. Gosh, there's just so many alarm bells ringing, man. So many red flags being raised. I guess it's yet to be seen. I mean, we're coming into it. We are coming into this, and buckle up, folks. That's all I can say. Buckle up, because
I'll just say this really briefly. I did about a 2-hour show last night talking about a lot of the stuff that's kind of surrounding, pre and post election. So, Ghost and a few other people. So
Yeah, Ghost is always great to have on, man.
Yeah, we do.
BlackRock's $1 billion Bitcoin bet could signal crypto's next big boom.
Yep.
So,
So
man, I'm hearing more about Bitcoin than XRP, Ron. I mean, but you're
that's fine.
big on
That's because that's what they want you to buy into. Um, so Bitcoin, I do believe that Bitcoin is going to be valuable, but the problem with Bitcoin, and this is I'm going to speak very kind of broadly with broad strokes, and I may get some minor details wrong, but the general tenor of what I'm going to say is I think people will understand. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is and other people's opinion as well, is propped up by a stable coin out there called Tether. Tether, the code for Tether is USDT, and so what Tether is that it is a stable coin, meaning that whatever the value of the currency is of the dollar, that's what the value of Tether is, and it'll sometimes it could be as low as 99 cents, sometimes it could be as high as $1.01, but it never really fluctuates outside of that. However, it can get below that if something goes wrong, and a lot of people are of the opinion that they say every time there's an increase in the Tether supply, there's a corresponding increase in the Bitcoin price, and there are many people do not believe that Tether has the requisite assets on hand to correspond to the value that they are claiming is in circulation.
Wow.
Okay.
It says here though that
if Tether crashes, Bitcoin crashes.
Right. They both do.
Right. And a lot of people are calling Tether essentially like the Federal Reserve of the crypto world. Now, that's not to say that I do not believe that blockchain technology is not going to be extraordinarily, involved in, this transfer of wealth that's coming. I think it's going to play a major role, probably one of the most significant roles of anything out there outside of gold and silver. But gold and silver isn't necessarily transferring wealth because gold and silver is just artificially being suppressed. But I think that you look at gold and silver, and that's wealth preservation. But if you're looking for wealth generation or creation, that's when you want to get into some of the speculative assets, and that's where you're talking about, Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the newer projects. Yeah.
So BlackRock makes history with 400,000 Bitcoin. With over 400,000 Bitcoin in BlackRock holdings, questions arise. Is the world's largest asset manager gunning for total Bitcoin control?
They can't control it if they have the supply. Okay, so how Bitcoin is controlled is by the mining. If you control 51% of the mining, you can control Bitcoin, but you can't control Bitcoin if you have just by owning. If you own more than 50% of the Bitcoin supply, you don't own it. You still are at the mercy of the miners.
Got you. Says here, BlackRock to take over Bitcoin, question mark. Many are already projecting a sort of Bitcoin wars in the future, making dystopian predictions that BlackRock will eventually push for the fork of the original BTC chain and then promote its own forked chain as the real one, using all its massive resources to do so. It does not sound like something impossible, but in the current realm, it seems more like a conspiracy theory. What's your thoughts on that?
I would agree. I think that we are all taught to hate BlackRock and State Street and Vanguard, and while I have my while I have serious reservations about those institutions, I'm I am not an absolutist anymore. I remain open to the possibility that there are good things, good entities out in some of these places, and I think Larry Fink was brought in by Trump to do some things, and I know that he's talked a lot about DEI and a lot of the social credit score and stuff like that. But I mean, how do we know that this isn't that isn't a just an act? And again, I'm not saying this is what's going on. I'm just postulating because we don't know.
No, we don't know.
But how do we know that? How do we not know, or how do we know for certain that BlackRock is an evil organization? I mean, is it possible that they're trying to put some things into the hands of private entities to get it out of government control, so that if the government collapses, then the private entities then have it, and then they can then put it back where it needs to be? I don't. I'm just I'm open to that possibility, but on the surface, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, they all appear to be, extraordinarily evil corporations. So,
but they're they're corporations and they have self-interest. So, I mean, it's just, it's the nature of the beast.
Shareholders to answer to. Exactly.
Yeah. Folks, one last time, I got to tell you, new reports reveal that the average person has 8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is shocking. It's 104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, with outside assistance, many of us will continue digging ourselves deeper into a whole debt. This is why I took back control of my debt with a secret weapon that helped me consolidate everything I owe into one affordable monthly payment. They even helped negotiate a settlement agreement that allowed me to pay less than my total balance. They settled over $275 million in debt and help people debt free in an average of 28 months. Give them 28 months, folks, you'll be debt free. I've had such a wonderful experience using them myself, which I have, that I wanted to partner with them and introduce their services to my loyal viewers. If you want help, if you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I highly recommend booking a free consultation with them now by going to NoDebtWithNino.com. That's NoDebtWithNino.com. Get started. The link will be down below. Man, I don't know, Ron. I think these next 10 days, man, this final stretch.
So let me say, I don't think that there's going to be enough. So how can I say that I don't think that they can overwhelm the, I mean,
I think all the early voting is showing it's a shutout already, is what I'm hearing.
Right.
You're hearing the same thing, right?
Right.
So how are they gonna?
That there's no way that they can manufacture enough to overcome the will of what people are going to. Yeah. It's just
I had Roger Fuller on talking about they're gonna let Mr. T skate by and control the House and Senate is what they're gonna try to do. Finagle the bagel in that regard, I don't know. I mean, this is yet to be seen. I think they realize that they can't. They're not going to be able to get away with what they did just 4 years ago. So this is going to be very interesting how this plays out. You heard what
Raskin was saying the other day.
What was Raskin saying?
Well, Raskin was talking about how they were going to use the 14th Amendment and on the 6th in 2025. We're going to have to tell it to the people that he's disqualified and then get bodyguards for ourselves.
Yeah, and maybe that's what these drills and exercises are about.
It's going to be CW conditions. So, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many things that are up in the air. And again, the one thing that I'd like to caution the audience is don't act emotionally about this stuff, and give it sometimes you need to act quickly, but give it a little bit of time to see if what's coming out isn't what it's being advertised as. And don't be emotional. The minute that you allow emotion to influence your decision making, you're going to lose. You're going to make bad decisions. Make decisions based on logic and reason. And if you can't do that, then bring somebody into your circle that you can bounce ideas off of before you make decisions. So And but I know conservatives like to think that they don't act emotionally because all the lefties do, but nah, it's the same. It's just a little with a little bit of a different twist on the conservative side. I mean, everybody has been programmed to act emotionally with information. I mean, it's across the board. So I'm the one thing that I could encourage people not to do is to not act emotionally.
So I got a text from Roger Fuller, who's on Nino's Corner.tv, talking about this. He did the electoral analysis audit. He did the audit in Maricopa. And he says, David, Congress amended the Electoral Counting Act in 2022. Previously, it took one rep and one senator together to cause the objection debate, as happened with AZ, interrupted before evidence could be seen by breach of the Capitol. Amendment changes this to require 1/5 of senators and 1/5 of representatives to sign on to have a debate. Another brick in the wall to make challenging this coming, impossible. So, and he worked with the Maricopa audit, and he's getting a lot of information in through the back channels, letting me know what's going on. He's up there right now, folks, on Nino's Corner.tv. I'm going to be staying hunkered down for the next, probably a month, maybe a few months. I mean, Juanito says, you're going to be hunkering down 3 to 6 months. I'm like, all right, whatever. That's what I have to do. That's what I have to do. But I know you'll be covering this. I'll be covering this. We'll both be going on.
Was he mocking you for doing that?
No. He's doing it. He's staying in Hawaii. I mean,
okay.
But he's not mocking me. I pay attention to people's actions first and foremost. People can talk a big game, but what are they doing? So that's what I'm doing. I'm watching what everyone's doing right now behind the scenes, and everyone seems to be buying a lot of gold and silver. I've seen people getting XRP Bitcoin. I see people stocking up with food and water and staying in place. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay in place. I'm just going to relax right now and just try to meditate and pray and just hope for the best of this country.
I would make sure, beyond security supplies and the ability to have fresh water, potable water and food or nourishment. The outside of that, you want to have comms. You want to have the ability to do power. If that's a small solar generator, so that you can power up your phone or walkie-talkies or ham radios. This is I'm not going to give this guy a pimping out, but this is I can't recommend in stronger terms to go get something like this. This is called the Gorilla's Guide to the Baofeng Radio. And I mean, this is done from a former vet or from a veteran who was in communications in the Army. And he gives classes on this stuff. And he wrote a book like how to do it. And there's like codes in there that you can do in the back that, like, if you're trying to communicate with somebody, you can say certain codes and then that'll mean something, but to the layperson on the air, because you're speaking in the clear with a ham radio. There's no encryption. Right. So as long as you know what you're saying on the other end and the other person knows what you're saying, then if you're speaking in code, then the message could be received. But radio communications are going to be huge, and especially in receiving, because if there's no internet and there's no cell networks, how are you going to get information? The only way.
I'm using Starlink.
but what happens if Starlink? I mean, what happens if Starlink doesn't?
I tend to think that that's going to be the one that stands strong for all this.
And I actually have the Starlink equipment. I just don't have the account set up. But
let me tell you, you got it. You finally got it in.
Oh, I bought this when it first came out.
I'll tell you what, like, it was a lot more difficult to put up than I thought. I had to have some workers come over and put it up on the roof and put a grounding pipe up there and everything. Man, it was not. I thought it was going to be pretty simple. They made it sound like it's something you could just do from home, but even the workers had a hard time doing this for some reason, whatever. Yeah, for me. That's me, though, folks. All right, folks.
Well, I mean, I have enough people that I can help me deal with that. But, yeah, so
go to untoldhistory.tv or ninoscorner.tv, and I'm going to be hunkering down, knocking out as many podcasts as possible daily for Nino's Corner.tv. I know Ron will be doing the same. Ron, thanks for joining me, man.
No, it was great. It was a nice morning surprise. So enjoy your day, and I hope everybody has a great day as well.
All right. Stay tuned, folks. Here it comes. Later, Ron. Thank you.
Later. All right, peace.